This video will demonstrate how to receive stock in for a purchase order. So firstly we go to Merchant and then Sales, and then from the purchase order drop down we go to the search page. So from here we can search via a number of different parameters, and when we've found the purchase order that we need we just click on the Info button. So this is a purchase order that has been previously ordered, and we're now at the stage where the stock has arrived at the warehouse and we wish to receive that stock in. So to do so we just click on the Receive Stock button. So from this screen here we can see all the products that we've actually ordered, the quantities that we've ordered, and how many we've received. So this interface allows you to scan in partial orders. We don't need all the stock to be there in order to do it. So if it happens to come in two batches, you can scan the first lot in, and then when the second lot comes in you scan it in separately. So now that we're receiving the stock in, we need to select the warehouse that the stock is going into, and we then need to scan the part codes. So now that we've scanned that code, we can see that the manufacturer has been automatically picked up. There's no field to enter a serial number because this part does not require serial numbers, and we have an option to type in a quantity here as to how many we've received. We also have a message here that tells us that this is a valid part. If we now scan in the next product, once again the manufacturer has been picked up automatically, and we now have a part here that requires a serial number. So we scan our serial number in, and once again it tells us it's a valid part. So if that was a serial number that already existed in the system, then we would see a notification here advising us that it's not a valid serial number. Now the third item that we've put on this order is actually a composite product, which means that it can contain child products. So if we scan this part in, it's picked up the manufacturer, and it's now advised us that this is a composite product. So typically from this point you would open up the box. If there is other products inside it, we would then start scanning the part codes of each of those. Those parts can then either require a serial number or not. So we can see that there's a warning here just advising that this part doesn't actually exist on the purchase order. So it's just asking us to confirm that this is correct. So we'll scan another one here, and then the third one here requires a serial number. So if we type in one that already exists, we can see it tells us that the serial number exists in the system. So once you've completed scanning in all the children for this parent, we just click Finalize Children, and that will then close it off and allow you to start scanning regular products again. So we can see there is again a message there just advising that this is not on the purchase order, so it's worthwhile just having another look just to make sure you've scanned the right part. If you have, you can go ahead and save that. So we've finished scanning all our parts in, and we just click Save. So after saving that, we get a little report here which just gives us a bit of a breakdown of what's happened. So for the parts that were expected on the order that went through okay, we can see there's a message just saying that it's successfully received it. We can then see these three children here, although they weren't specifically on the purchase order, it's advising that it's imported as a child and it will be associated with the purchase order. And if we just click back now and go back to the purchase order, we can see the quantities there have now been received, and we can see here is some new stock that's been added into the warehouse management system and any serial numbers that have been associated. If we then click on the link of one of these items, we can see all the information there.